Hi, we're here at Possum Kingdom State Park. This is a favorite park for millions of Texans. It's a beautiful park on a beautiful lake here in northwest Texas. And what I want to talk about is some of the interesting aspects of this park and this lake. For example, almost all of this lake, the shoreline, is private property. Lots of houses all the way around it. And then some businesses, things like that. Restaurants, you name it, okay? But a beautiful park. One of the best places to access the park is here at Possum Kingdom State Park, all right? But really, a boat is the way to see and use this park. There are some geologic features, big islands, things that people jump off of and swim at that you can really only get to by boat. So keep that in mind. But it's a beautiful park, beautiful state park. It has a lot of neat historical bits of information about it, which I'll share with you later. But right now, check this out. Isn't this a beautiful state park? All right, let's explore it some more. As I mentioned, this park, or rather this lake, is really enjoyed well by boat. And this state park, which does something that's kind of unusual for state parks, and that is they rent boats here. Now, I'm not just talking about kayaks and canoes or paddle boards like a lot of state parks do. I am talking about big old pontoon boats they will rent here. So people can have the opportunity to explore this lake as a family in a big boat. Isn't that cool? They do a lot of stuff here at Possum Kingdom that's really kind of nice. Here at Possum Kingdom State Park, they have two major RV campgrounds. I mean, they got primitive campgrounds and tent campgrounds, things like that. But the two major RV campgrounds are Shady Grove and Spanish Oaks, okay? They're both beautiful, and both of them have spots that are right on the water, just beautiful. I'll show you one here in a second. But the neat thing, or the important thing, I guess you could say, is that they're not open year-round. At least not all. One of them will be open, but the other will be closed from like December 1st until March 1st. So you got to keep that in mind. Not every campsite's open throughout the year, okay? One of them will be closed for all of winter, all right? And so keep that in mind. But they're beautiful campsites, but they got water and electricity and no sewer and no pull-throughs. Although I have to say, there's plenty of room to turn around and back in. There's not a bunch of trees in the way or anything like that. I don't think backing in for anyone would be tough here, but there's no pull-throughs. All right, let's go look at one on the water. Here are some of the campsites that are right on the water. The beautiful water here at Possum Kingdom Lake. To my right, you can barely see it through the trees. That's the boat ramp right there. And then you can just look on down, you see this rocky shoreline here like that. You can probably wade out there and fish a little. And these campsites are just perfect. Man, number 48, I hope we get that one when we come back here. Won't that be good? And so I'm hoping that we get one of these. I can't imagine them being any better, but the other campground across the way supposedly has some that are even better. So I'm excited about coming back here. Like I said, this is a reconnaissance mission. Us coming here to see what we're going to do and do at a later date. Okay, this is an example of the campsites in the Spanish Oaks campgrounds. Now, Spanish Oaks is the one that's usually open all winter, while Shady Grove isn't, okay? But hey, these are pretty nice. Some of them are real nice and long, like this one is. Other ones are real wide, so you can park your car beside it. But, I mean, goodness gracious, how nice is this? My goodness. These sites aren't on the water per se. I mean, the water's right over there, but golly, what neat back in RV sites right here. Got the picnic table up on a pedestal like this, right in the woods, right off the trails. This is beautiful. This would be beautiful in any other park to have something like this, and but yet, you know, right across the way are sites even better right on the water. So, hey. As a result of the Great Depression, one of the programs that was initiated in the United States was the Civilian Conservation Corps. These men would go from place to place and they would build parks and things like that. In Texas, they built state parks for most of the 30s, okay? And they built state parks in Tyler and Lake Whitney, all over the place, all right? And this was one of the parks they built. But unfortunately, they started building it, working on it, in about 1941, and World War II happened. Well, men of that age were going to be used for the war effort. And so work on this park was suspended and then finished and wrapped up later. This was the last state park in the Texas State Park system that was built by the CCC. In fact, they would have these companies, and it would be hundreds of men, and this was company number 3888. They always would set up these huge camps that would have mess halls and rec halls and barracks and things like that, while they would work on these parks for sometime years at a time. And this is the site of company 3888's camp. And we're going to walk around in it a little bit, and you can kind of see where they were, where they camped. and where they had certain things. They built a lot of stuff out of stone and things like that. You'll see a little bit of that. This historical marker talks about it and talks about the whole thing. Let's walk down there and take a look at it. If you go to any of the CCC parks in Texas, you will notice that a lot of the stuff, bridges, walls, and buildings are built out of the local stone from that area. These guys were experts at taking that local stone and turning it into structures, many of which still exist today. Here you can see the pass, or the places where they had some type of foundation right here, and that was the camp for correction 2888, company 2888. All right, let's look around just a little bit more. As you can see, this was a rather large complex. I think more of the story of the CCC needs to be told all over the country, but especially in Texas. We need to see and recognize what these men did at a time where the country didn't have much money and jobs weren't there. These guys signed up for $1 a day and built some of our long-lasting structures and parks that we Texans cherish still to this day.